Hi everybody and welcome to Infusion, a podcast designed to give you permission to think differently and to push you to a new level of understanding and awareness. A safe space where you tap into your level of abundance in all areas of your life and business. I'm Gigi, your host and provider of happiness. So in today's conversation, I'm really excited because we will talk about Africa Day Cork 2022 with June. So hi June, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm really good and I'm so happy to have you because you have been a part of the committee for so long and it's a real pleasure to have you and see your work behind all of what you are creating. So thank you.
Thank you for having me, and it's teamwork.
Yeah, it's a teamwork.
It's teamwork.
Because every year it's a different committee, so you meet new people, new way of creating and visioning Africa Day.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, can you tell us what it's Africa Day Cork?
So Africa Day Cork started over a decade ago, I'd say, more than a decade. And it was to celebrate Africa Day itself. So Africa Day is not unique to Cork. It's globally celebrated on the 25th of May. And initially it was celebrated to commemorate the formation of the Organization of the African Union, now known as African Union. And then what has happened in Cork and now in Ireland, this year is 60 years with the relationship of Irish Aid and Africa.
Congrats.
Yeah. And if the Organization of the African Union was in existence, it would have been turning 60 years today. But it's not. It's scrapped. They started something new and doing the same function but differently. So in Ireland, it was 60 years, and Irish Aid has been has been working with local authorities such as Cork City Council to celebrate with the African diaspora that lives in their different councils to celebrate this day. Now, Cork is unique because it's not just Africa Day. Cork celebrates it as a full week of activities and events.
Yeah, true. A full week of activities. So, what type of event will you have? Can you tell us a bit about the agenda?
Okay, so it's so many things, but maybe I should take you back. Every year, we decide on a theme for what that week of celebration would be. Yeah. So, of course, during COVID, everything was online. And then last year, based on how COVID and the lockdown had affected young people, we were trying to celebrate African youth, celebrating youth and their resilience through that. True. And then this year we were looking at the strength of our diaspora here and the impact that they have as descendants of Africa, but also as some Black and Irish, as parents of Black and Irish children, as well as just African diaspora members, people who are here for work, people who are here for family, just celebrating the richness they bring to Cork in terms of culture, in terms of business, in terms of sound, in every aspect of living. Yeah. So, you want to know about this year?
Yeah.
So this year, like I said, it's the Strengthening Diaspora. And we're going to be launching on the 22nd of May. That's Monday. Next Monday.
Yeah.
Okay. Depending with when you see it, it could be this Monday. But for us, it's next Monday.
Next Monday. So block the date, guys. Yeah. Don't forget.
22nd of May. We're going to be launching the Africa Week celebration at Cork City Council, Millennium Hall. And the guest of honor is the Nigerian ambassador to Ireland. So she's going to come down to Cork and officially launch Africa Day. So it's going to be amazing. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to have African food, African music, and most importantly, we're going to have our annual fashion show. And we're going to have 3 designers who have opened their businesses here in Cork. They design clothes. They own stores and shops here, so they contribute to our economy. They're excellent at their craft, and they're well-rounded women. In that, I mean, they have a balance of, I don't want to call it balance, maybe harmony between focusing on their passion, which is fashion and design, and they also have 9-to-5 jobs. So
it's a great example of achievement and resilience as well in showcasing them. How would you say how Africa Day over the years in Cork has evolved, and what are the impact and the perception and the understanding as well for the youth and for each generation in terms of appreciation and cultural impact?
God, geez, that's a lot.
Yeah. Let's break it down.
Let's break it down, because I'm like, wait a minute, you took me straight into discourse. And we're just trying to have a good time. But you know, it's
You're not there to play, girl.
You're not here to play. We're not here to play. So how has it changed over the years?
Yeah.
I'd say
in Cork, huh?
In Cork.
Africa Day evolved over the years in Cork.
In Cork. When it comes to celebrating, there's more involvement of our embassies. And I think as diaspora, sometimes we forget that the embassies are there for more than just emergency. A lot of people think you go to your embassy when you need you're in trouble. You've lost your passport, or something's happened and you really need your government to help you. When in fact, your embassies that are here can help you when it comes to establishing businesses. I'm not talking about the paperwork. I'm talking about you are trying to import something from Nigeria to bring it here. What do you need to go through? Do you have contacts there? How can your government help you there? You know, so that you can, because people look at it as small things. It's not small things. That's enterprise, that's industry. And that's where governments and diasporas play a big impact. And that's one of the things we're going to be talking about on Wednesday during our seminar. How do we involve our embassies in businesses, in enterprise? And that's one of the things that's changed and evolved, constantly including the embassies in our launches, in our conversations. This year we have the ambassador of Kenya coming on Wednesday to have this conversation where they think that the role of the embassy is more than emergencies.
Yeah, emergency paper, because it's always as well about bringing the culture, bringing the tourism, the impact that really the whole country has and the identity outside. And I think it's important to remind that as well, because even for searching for language courses, if you don't know, you can go to your embassy. They're going to refer you all the structure. So it's a great, it's really important.
Another way that has evolved is involving younger people, which is tough because it's boring work. And keeping the attention span. So it's trying to use social media, trying to use different events, having, I'll give you a best example. We never previously had an African music night. And last year, there was a committee member, his name is Mike. Hi, Mike. Shout out to DJ Guada. Mike is a local, a man of many talents, but one of it, he's a local DJ. And he was like, why don't you have an African music night and approach venues? Previously, you didn't have huge, established, old venues that would have African DJs, African artists, very few people who would be considered world music. Think of like Fela Kuti kind of world music, and not Burna Boy or Cliff Machete or Logi, not local. You wouldn't have a lot of playing that. And we said, okay, we're going to approach clubs and see who comes upon. We're going to approach theaters and see who comes upon and who runs with this idea. Crane Lane did that. We've never done that before.
So while you are building the committee, you are evolving as well in terms of activities that you can offer. And that's really great as well, because I think it's important as well, not only to showcase online things that's happening, but have those physical events where you can see concretely how talented the city is.
Yes. And not just the city, but people who look like me and you. Who and it's even difficult for our parents as well, because arts were never really a career. Music was never really a career and things like that. So when they see young people, their children, playing at the Crane Lane Theatre or playing in Fitzgerald Park, and they're exposing them, they're using their talents. I mean, it's something that's slowly changing our mindsets as well.
Because like you said, the art, what do you say that? Art, I forgot the word. How do you say?
Say it in French.
Or you want to direct in a profession, the art profession, is something for the African culture. It's not always the first approach that our parent would like us to choose. Unfortunately,
That's
so
true.
there is a...
You have to be a doctor, lawyer, engineer, and what else? There's always 4. Doctor, lawyer, engineer, and there's something else they make us... I don't know, one of those 4, but it's not art. But they're changing. I feel like they're slowly changing.
And that's great because we have to. We cannot anymore be behind.
Yeah.
In terms of collaboration and community building, can you tell us how does collaboration between the African diaspora in Cork and local communities contribute to community empowerment?
Wow, that's hard. Sometimes impact cannot be seen, cannot be quantified, and I think that's a lot of times my difficulty in expressing the impact of that relationship. Joining the two communities together, and the reason is a lot of the children who are here have been born here. They're Black and Irish, so they have no other identity except the color of their skin, but everything else about them is Irish.
Yes. Yeah.
So it becomes very hard for me to sort of quantify that. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Because it cannot be always quantified as well. Like you said, it's more abstract, and you will see in the behavior and how the society itself evolve, I would say. And
That's
how
true.
as well the community get involved in those activities that are created for them.
But what I can say is, you see anybody frequent African businesses. They don't have to be African to go to African businesses. So that's the impact of the African diaspora here. You go to African Music Night, and I'm looking at a white boy from Malo, or from even Carrigaline or anywhere, and he's singing word for word Wizkid. I'm like, what is happening? And he's talking about, I want to go to Africa Day and eat plantain. And I'm looking at him, where did you find out about this plantain? So you have those, they have those things that they're very nice and light, and they'll tell you about music and everything, and then they tell you about their classmates. If you go to most of the schools now and you look at their yearbooks, if you look at their yearbooks 15 years ago and you look at the yearbooks now, there's so much mix and diversity of the students, and it just tells you of what's happening outside. It's happening in the schools. Sure. So I find that the best way you can join communities and have difficult conversations is through art, is through music, it's through painting, it's through drawing. Then those break the barriers, because I think it's simple. It's difficult to misunderstand art. Because it's very subjective. Somebody else, there's so many interpretations that all could be true. And that's what I like about art. There's no wrong answer.
Yeah, true.
So I think the enrichment of of Cork is the same as looking at it from an art perspective. There's no wrong way to do the mix. There's no wrong way to do the mix at all. We mix well. We have the same sense of humor. I don't know. We like almost the same things. So I think that's how I would maybe think about it. Yeah,
that's a beautiful answer. I like the way you conclude it.
You're putting me on the spot today. Like, I thought it was gonna be like, "Hi, welcome to our event. It's gonna be great." And then
it is too.
Discourse.
Let's moving on though.
Okay.
To the next question.
Quick fire, yeah. Let me sip my tea.
Go ahead. What would I say? What are the long-term benefit of fostering collaboration between local community and Cork?
People are people. So it's not about long-term benefit. It's just looking at people as people. And with the way the world is, it's even people from Cork are moving.
Yeah.
People from Ireland migrate a lot,
Yeah.
So the long-term benefit is we're just becoming one. In Kenya, they say the world is a dot, like a full stop.
Yeah.
Like everything is just there. And that's what it's becoming. People are just people. Regardless of mixing, whether you're mixing in Cork, whether you're mixing in Dublin. Well, Cork. We're not the same as everybody else, Cork is Cork,
That's it.
And it's strange because before I never thought about it, but I've lived here long enough to be like, We're Cork.
Yeah, no, but that's true. You can only understand once you arrive in Cork.
Once you arrive in Cork. So I think that's the difference. But people, I always say people are people, regardless. We have to treat each other with respect, with dignity. And you find it here more than you would maybe find it in the capital. And everybody has good banter here. Everybody has a good sense of humor. They less chip on the shoulder. I would say, however, it's difficult for younger people. I don't know if you think about it. When you were young, is bullying harder now or when you were younger?
Yeah. It was. I think it's harder now for them.
For younger. So I think the next sort of making the communities better is I think we should now focus our efforts to younger generation because it's difficult for young people than it is for for teenagers especially than it is for people in university or me and you or people in the working class or people who I think we should now focus that unity and harmony in the community to younger people. They're having a harder time.
To nurture them and to put the foundation because I think the distractions are coming from different places, different layers in terms of positioning yourself as a human, in terms of your center of interest, entertain yourself as well. So it's important to have that sense of community like African culture is, like we say, we need the village.
You need a village.
Right child. So in terms of Africa Day Cork and the future of Africa Day, how do you envision the future of Africa Day celebration in Cork?
To be honest, I hope it will be one day a huge festival that everybody thinks of Africa Day in Ireland. They're like, no, we have to go to Cork. Because like I said, local communities do it. You have it in Cork County does it in Mallow, the county itself. We're Cork City, but we play a big role because people are like, we're going to the city, regardless of whether they're from Mallow, they're from Skibbereen, they're from down deep in West Cork coming into, it's different, right?
Yeah, it will be different.
So in future, I want that when people in Ireland think of we're going for a family fun day festival, African family fun day festival, they're like, we're going to Cork. It would be a destination the way you have like Independence or Indie Festival or Electric, something like that. That's my dream. Now, is that possible? Yes. It just will take a lot of time, a lot of work, and a lot of funding. Most of the budget is funded by Irish Aid.
Yes.
And for a while, we've been trying to reach sponsors here and there to fund different activities. And there's been a bit of success. Last year, we had Crane Lane. They really came through when it came to our artists and musicians. And this year, they've come back and they said, okay, it was good. We loved it. It was successful for both you and us. We're going to do it again. But then we've also gotten funding from Nala Money. Nala Money and Credit Agricole and NetApp.
So thank you all the sponsors.
All the sponsors. Thank you very much. NetApp have come in and they want to do something good for kids, Yeah. Ice cream. So if you're early and you're on time, and you spot the ice cream truck and you're on the lookout and you see something good and it's ice cream and you want it, you're going to get it. And that's courtesy of NetApp, So they're coming in and they're like, let's be the fair. You get ice cream and you get ice cream and something like that. And then we have Nala Money. Nala Money is an app built for Africa. And
let's talk about
Nala Money. So remittances, money comes from America. Send your family money. You send your family money from America, from Belgium, from anywhere. You send it to Africa. A lot of times, remittances pass so many jurisdictions, like so many fingers, but by the time you go and get it, like it's lost.
Yeah, you lost. Yeah.
Yes. And what Nala does is it's promising that we're going to have remittances. It's started by It's the guy who started Nala Money. He's African.
Okay.
And he's from Tanzania. And he said, I'm going to do it, build something for Africa. And I'm going to make it cost less. So if you're sending money to Nigeria and you go to whatever other, I don't want to mention them, whatever other...
any competitors?
Competitors, right? And you check their rates and you compare to Nala Money, oh my God, it's different. Yeah. It's absolutely different. So they're like, it's a diaspora event. We want to We want to get involved. So they came and partnered with us this year. And I'm not really doing it justice because there's so much more about that application that is so beneficial to African diasporas that they should look into it.
So it's an opportunity for me to inviting them as a guest.
Exactly. Definitely. I recommend. There's Anna, there's Lucius, and there's Benjamin. Yes, from Nala. And I'm not a good spokesperson, but they're doing something brilliant for the continent. And Africa's remittances, it's more than any direct foreign investment from any government. So it's huge that they're trying to tap into this. And you know the number one reason people send money?
It's to support the family over there.
Yes, but there's a very specific reason, as I found out, which makes sense.
Okay, I don't know.
Most people, when they send money, they're sending money to mom.
Ah, yeah.
Specifically to mom. And it's a lot of people here. African mothers are so resilient. African mothers there's just something, I can't even quantify it myself. And I think even when people are abroad, they're like, they have nothing. Their last $50, they're like, I'm going to send mom 25.
Yeah.
Just, and it's a very interesting thing. So they're coming on as sponsors to us. And so is Credit Agricole, the Credit Insurance in Dublin. Yeah.
That's nice. It's really, it's a big improvement compared to the previous year. So it's a big step. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
How can Africa Day Cork can strengthen their connection with African communities in Ireland and Africa? Are there opportunity for that collaboration, first of all?
Always. There's always opportunity. The challenge is we are a very small committee, so reaching out is not that easy. And even when we do, it's not what do you call it? How would I quantify? How would I say this? There's always opportunity. That's the first thing. The second thing is we're all volunteers. I think I should have mentioned that from the beginning. We're all volunteers. It's not a paid position to create this whole. No, and therefore we need a structure where collaboration with other communities would be better if we had an office or if we had a program manager who manages everything. Then they can feed out and get more.
Delegate. And approach. Yeah.
Another thing is a challenge we have is access to we have we don't have it anymore, but before GDPR we had contacts. We could go back to your database and reach out, but once people say that they're not gonna, once you can't touch that data, you can't call them back, you can't text. Once you've used the data for what it's for, you can't reach out. So my fear is we constantly can't keep up with different communities and organizations who would be so good to us, for us, and mutually. I was having a conversation with the lady who started Multicultural Ireland. She does brilliant work. Her name is Cordelia, and she does brilliant work. And I said, Cordelia, I would love you to come for this, but I'm so glad you called me, because I couldn't reach you, and I didn't have that contact. And the person who had dealt with us before, like, they can't give you the contact.
No,
they don't have access to those databases and things like that. So that's
I
it's
think,
tough.
It's tough. Yeah, it's tough. And guys, in that case, if you are listening to us as well, it's important to give us a perspective that we might not have in order to empower and help us to achieve that. So don't forget, share.
Yes, please share.
Share if you know something. Go ahead.
And I think every year, just send an email. Hey, my name is this person, or I'm in this organization. I want to get involved with Africa Day. It's easier because, like I said, we change committees often. So once they see it in January, they put you on a list, and they know definitely to reach out to you for whatever is required. Yeah. And we have very small capacity. We really are. Like this year, I think I want to shout out to Axel. Like Axel Cesarin has been running a lot of our campaign, and it's difficult for one person to do. So we have very limited capacity.
Thank you, Axel. We appreciate your effort.
Yeah.
For the future of Africa Day, let's ask you how can the local community in Cork actively participate and support Africa Day celebration?
Come to our events. They're free. How do you want to support us? Come to our events. They are free. And if you don't come, then next year, then the statistics will show, well, this is not a well-attended event. There's no reason to have it. Come to an event. The more you participate, the more you come, and you'll definitely have a good time. The more we have reason and motivation to be like, okay, the community receives the fashion show well. The community receives the family fun day well. The kids love the ice cream. The kids loved this, and this. Those things come back again.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's open to everyone. It's not uniquely for Africans. And why you have these events in diaspora, like Ireland and Cork, is to create that community link and understanding and harmony between communities by using events like this. So you have people coming together talking, exchanging
because
ideas.
We are ensuring sustainability and growth, not only growth as a community, but grow as an individual. And it's important in a city to have those events.
Yeah. So I think if you come to our events. Come to our events.
Can you go back again to the agenda so like these people know before wrap it up?
Yeah. So the agenda of Africa Day. So 22nd of May, that's Monday next week, or if you're watching it's today. So we have the launch 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Millennium Hall, Cork City Council. That's in town. The entrance is on Eglinton Street.
Okay.
Yes, and then they're going to have a nice little reception. We're going to have some Nigerian food. Nigerian ambassador is going to be there. So welcome. Join us, have a tea, coffee, network, meet different people. If you have a nice African outfit, please put it on. And we're going to take pictures and just have a good time. The Lord Mayor is hosting it. She's our host and she's hosting the ambassador. That's on the 22nd of May, Monday. And we'll have a fashion show. Then on Wednesday, we have a seminar.
Yes.
And the seminar is going to be at the same location, Cork City Council, Millennium Hall. It's from 6 to 8 with a little reception, 6 to 6:30. And it is going to be a seminar with the ambassador, the Kenyan ambassador. Yep. It's going to be with the Cork Leo Local Enterprise Office. We're going to also have Emmanuel Adeleke. He is the only partner in Deloitte Ireland who looks like us.
Yeah, nice.
So he has a very interesting story to give. I think maybe I should say this. He's very good at his job and he's well-deserved. It has nothing to do with looking like us. He's just a profession. But I know sometimes we get into the trap of justifying something.
Yeah, treasure.
No.
Yeah, he's competent person.
Yes, very competent. And I think he's going to talk about his journey, his story. But also, I think he's a good role model. Yes, and then we're going to have Dr. Mutasin Mohammed, lovely fella originally from Sudan. And Dr. Mohammed is going to talk about his work making you sick. And then the other three are going to be talk about business. They're going to be talk about enterprise, like I had mentioned before, embassies. How can they help? Yeah. The Leo is going to talk about, okay, you're starting your business. This is what you're supposed to do. This is how we can help. You're applying for grants. This is how we're supposed to do it. What are the facilities available? And also, what are your grievances? And then on Thursday, we have the Africa Music Night at Crane Lane Theatres. Crane Lane Theatre is on Phoenix Street. It's in town. I hope am I running out of time? No. Perfect. I was like, no. Crane Lane, we're going to have lots of musicians. Our main acts are DJ Mona Lisa. She is she's actually the class of 2022 Forbes 30 under 30 in Africa.
I saw that.
From Malawi. Yes. Then we have Toshin, amazing. Toshin did Toshin as Aretha Franklin. That girl has a voice. She can sing. Toshin can sing. And she's going to be there as well. And then we're going to have Newbury Bland. And Newbury Bland were there last year. Beloved now. Like, we have claimed them for ourselves here in Cork. They're so loved. And they're going to be performing a good mashup of Afrobeats. And I think they've even been venturing into like 90s music. So they'll be there. And we'll also have Logie, Running Moon, Sadie Sessions, Cliff Machete,
Alicia Ray.
Yes, who else?
So,
Kemi the poet is going to be there as well. She makes beautiful poetry. And then on Saturday, the main event day, we have the flag parade at 11:30 in Parnell Place. Actually, the top of Oliver Plunkett. If you have a favorite African flag, or if you want to come rep your country, come fast before somebody claims it. And we're going to do the usual flag parade from the top of Oliver Plunkett down to the bottom. Then we're going to get a bus, an open top bus, and go around town, listening to some good music and telling people to join us in Fitzgerald Park, where we're going to be for the Family Fun Day from 12:30 to 6 p.m. Saturday, the 27th of May. There's going to be ice cream. There's going to be face painting. There's going to be dancing. We have, for the first time, a good number of dancers. So if you like dancing and you like the hype and sing all that, you're going to be on the dance floor, aren't you?
Yes, I will be there.
Yeah. So if you want to see all of that, it's going to be on the 27th. Lots of fun, lots of music. So I'm just going to ask you to put it in the universe so that we have good weather,
We will get it. We'll get it.
Yeah. So that's the full week of events, and all the details are available on the Africa Day Cork Facebook page, Africa Day Cork Instagram, and Africa Day Cork Twitter. And thank you to our sponsors: Irish Aid, Cork City Council, NetApp, Credit Agricole, Credit Insurance Ireland, and Nala Money.
Yeah, thank you so much for your insight and for that wonderful conversation that we had during this podcast episode. And I just wanted to say as well that Africa Day is a momentous occasion that honors the incredible continent of Africa and its people. And we have to celebrate Africa Day with its rich culture, history, and remarkable contribution that we have can be art, music, literature, science, and all the innovation that we do on daily basis. And Africa Day reminds us to appreciate and learn from the wisdom, the resilience, and the vibrancy that Africa embodies.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. You want to say last word?
Just one thing.
Yes.
So African regions, right? You have North Africa, South Africa, East Africa, West Africa, Central Africa.
Yes.
The African Union recognizes a sixth region, and that's African diaspora. It's one of the regions of the African Union, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah. So thank you so much. Guys, stay tuned. Once again, thank you for tuning in, supporting Onk Fusion podcast. Don't forget to activate the bell, to follow us on Instagram and Facebook page. And I send you love, and I'm always grateful to have you. Bye.
Bye.